Hey guys, this is Randy again. I also wanted to come in here and kind of give you an idea of what's going on uh, this year for 2021. Our insurance agency, which is Reliant Brokers, we service Texas and Missouri, is a sponsor, the main sponsor for the Laughing Class comedy shows. And we are planning on doing several different shows this year if we can possibly get away with it. Um, I'm asking that everybody check out our page for Reliant Brokers. We offer business insurance, life insurance, home, auto, specialty, all of those different things. Um, Most of the money that I make, that extra make, at least I did in like 17 and 18, we will put some of that money over to be able to support the stand-up comedy industry. It's important that everybody be able to eat. And, in the stand up comedy business, it's a tough gig. These guys are driving sometimes 7 and 8 hours to get to a gig. Um, Sometimes they have to fly up to 2,000 miles. They're constantly away from their homes. They're not making a whole bunch of money if you do the math by cost and expenses. So I try to do what I can to be able to support local and not so local stand up comedy. Because of the business that I have, I don't bring in anybody that's not going to be a hit act. I don't bring in, oh, I'm going to take a chance on this guy because he's cheaper. I don't do that. Because when you come out and you've worked all week and you've had every kind of shit fest that you could possibly imagine, and there's all kinds of things weighing on your brain by the end of the week, sometimes you need a reset button. And sometimes on a Saturday night, you want to go out and you want to have fun and you want to be able to just start over for the next week, and it helps you move on. Well, that's what we do here. We're not political. We're not going to get into some ridiculousness about some social horseshit idealism of who's not being treated fairly and all these different types of things that can get swung up into the comedy business. We're only here to make people feel better. We're not here to judge. We're not here to do anything political. We're not here to do anything to make anyone that comes to our show feel bad. It's only to make the people that come to the show feel good, want to come back again and again and again. And that is why we have a 5-star rating, because I don't come off of those terms. If they're not an A-class act, if they're not a pro touring headliner, I'm not going to have them on the stage for that last act. We will bring in, like sometimes we'll bring in new guys that, maybe I've had guys freeze up and they didn't even get 2 jokes out. But they got to start somewhere. So the people that come to the comedy shows, they understand that, hey, yeah, this guy sucks, but maybe one of these days he'll be the next Jerry Seinfeld. Who knows? So we give people a chance. Most of the time, our feature acts are really outstanding. Sometimes they could actually fill in as a headliner. That way, the standard of the show stays as high as what it needs to be. Our venues that we have are only usually 4 or 5-star hotels. The reason why we put them there is because many times people like to go. They like to, I personally don't drink, but some people do. Some people want to go and they want to have fun and they drink a little bit too much and maybe they can't get home. Well, there's a hotel room and it's a nice one. And most of the time, if you go up to the front counter or call in prior to the show, like at the Regalia, I'm sure that there's a small discount that they would offer for you staying, if that's possible. I mean, I can't speak for the hotels, but what I can do is speak for the Laughing Class, and that we would only do business with people that were above board and doing what they say that they should be doing. So we need to sell about another 95 tickets for this show for Saturday, February the 27th. By then, as a comedy promoter, I think that the most frustrating and most stressful thing is to not have the ticket line light up. It takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of dedication, getting in front of people, marketing, networking, getting the right people in play to be able to put the shows on. And the biggest failure of all is not having, the people show up. And the problem is when no one shows up, or when you have a little bit of people show up for an outstanding show that was well put together, well managed, the right people, the right places, and then we don't have the calling for the acts that we need in the smaller locations. That's why we end up usually closing those locations, because it's too expensive. I mean, to run a professional stand-up comedy show, to do the promotion, to do all the different things to get in front of you. If you've been to your house, you probably picked up a plastic bag with a flyer in it, or you went up and down the road. All of those things cost money. So we use the funds off of our ticket sales to be able to pay for all of those things. I know this is kind of like off key a little bit, but I kind of wanted to come on here and kind of give you a feel for what we are doing to try to support our local business. I mean, we've been in Jefferson City, Missouri. We've been in Lake Ozark, Missouri. We've been in Sedalia, Missouri. Hell, we did a few shows in Lowman, Missouri at a little bar there in 2018. So we're doing what we can to bring the business to these companies that may need a little bit of extra income for the months, for the weekends that we do the shows per month. So you could be a part of that. And we want to be able to make sure that we bring you the best value for what we're doing. But we need ticket sales. So I need at least 95 people to go to thelaughingclass.com, get your tickets, show up to this James Johann show, and get ready for the time of your life, because there is no better comedian that I can see. The guy is just absolutely hilarious, probably one of the nicest guys you've ever met, and he's just like everybody else. And these other comedians that are on the A class, B class, C class, any class, they struggle just like you and I. So let's come back on February 27th, and let's get this thing back up and going, and let's stop worrying about all of this other horse shit. You got to be safe when you come to the show, of course. Put on a mask. Make sure that you're not doing stupid shit, because if you are, you're probably going to get a visit. Because it's important that if we're going to do these shows, they have to be safe, because one mistake could cost. Nobody wants that. But we want to make sure that the time that people have is absolutely the best time that they can, to get them away from this horse shit that we've been going through for the past 12 or 13 months. And the only way we can do that is people have to be brave and say, listen, I'm going to be safe, but I'm not going to crawl in a hole and die. That's not what we do in America. We're just not that. So I want to see everybody out. Let's have a great time. We've got over 550 customers that have been to our shows in mid-Missouri. I want to see at least a couple hundred of you guys out. We're going to have a huge ballroom at the Regalia. We're going to have all of these tables socially distanced. So you don't have to worry about that. What you do have to worry about, though, is you can hide and you can be afraid of everything in the world. But in the end, it's not worth it. Be safe. Wear a mask to the show. We're going to put you in a place to where you're not going to have to worry about running into other people. If you get up from your table, put your mask on or cover your face, because you have to do that in order to come to this show. It's a safety measure. Hope to see everybody out. If you have any questions, of course, you can text me, or you can just leave a message here on this page. I'll see you at the show. Thank you.